people don't pay attention to a lot in Richland County that's worth taking a look at.
Yeah, and they seem to get in the postseason every year, and when they get in the postseason, they tend to at least win one game, sometimes two. So I do like the Falcons as well. They could be a sneaky under-the-radar team right now.
And congratulations to Ty Williams, a senior for Hillsdale. He broke the career tackles record on Thursday night. He did it in a coronavirus-shortened senior season. He's done it in 5 games this year. So he's well over 400 tackles. So congratulations, Ty.
Yeah, congratulations to him. And oh man, what is that? Hello? Yeah. Yeah, okay. You rolling up right now? Okay, cool. Thanks. All right, turns out Travis Berardi is back in the building, coming in from a soccer match, Kurt. So we're going to go ahead and welcome him in. We'll say goodbye to you. Any shout-outs or any knowledge you want to drop on the folks at home watching right now before you go?
No, I don't think so. It's always a pleasure to come down and do this with you on Saturday. I can't talk about high school football enough, so thanks for having me.
Yeah, always a great time having you in here. And shout-out to Eric Will, who's actually in Virginia right now watching Brennan Armstrong make his first ever career start. So, we watching you too, BA. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. Travis Berardi is going to join the set. Stay with us. Pigskin, where we are live from downtown Mansfield, Ohio. My name is Brian, and Travis Berardi just walked into the building, so he's going to join the set right now. Travis, first, tell me about your impressions of week number 5, man. What was the biggest surprise to you?
Keep this on me, Adam. This is to the Shelby Whippets. I've been pretty much harping about how good the Lucas Cubs are, and they are a pretty good school, but I really haven't given the Shelby Whippets enough credit. They are a really good team, and apparently, we go on to Jake Furr's podcast every week on Tuesdays, and the Shelby Whippets apparently listen, and we both took the Lucas Cubs, and they used it as bulletin board material. They were kind of jacked up that we didn't pick them, and they used it as just some momentum their way, and they pretty much steamrolled the number 2 team in Division 7 because of it. So anytime you need some bulletin board material, Brian and I are here, but Shelby, you have one of the best teams in Division 4 by far, and you showed it by beating one of the best teams in D7. I don't care about their D7, we're D4. Lucas is a very good team. and they've shown they can beat Division 4, 5, 6, and 7 squads. So I don't care about what division they're in. Shelby, you have a legit squad, and we cannot wait to cover you guys as you make a long run this playoff season. But anyway, Brian, other than that, it was another great week of high school football.
Yes, indeed. But sometimes I like to think back to the week that was in week 4, and we have a poll that we throw up. We show you guys some plays, and we show you some athletes. And last week we had a poll of Friday Night Phenoms, and we let you guys, the people of North Central Ohio and beyond, you can pretty much vote from anywhere in the world, weigh in your vote, and this is who came out on top. So after hundreds of votes rolled in from all across the galaxy, ending with the victory is this gentleman right here, Dion Parker, the little engine for the Danville Blue Devils. Travis, you've seen this dude live and free right here on the OH Report.
And free he was through the linebacking core down to the 1 yard line, and then he finished things off with a touchdown. He also had a big interception in that game. Right here against Northmore, it really set up their second touchdown score of the game, and they ended up winning 14-12. So he was pretty much the main reason why Danville is now 4-1.
He had 186 yards on the ground, had a touchdown, had that interception, as you just saw on the moving pictures right there. So congratulations to Dion Parker. We're going to have a custom shirt coming your way here at the end of the regular season. Can't wait to drop those off to you kids come playoff time. That's one of my favorite parts of the year, seeing the smiles on your faces when we bring you those custom tees. But let's get back to reality right now and the current times, week 5. And let's run back this week's nominees right now in the Friday Night Phenoms, presented by Spherion, Mid-Ohio. And how about we begin with those Shelby Whippets? Made me and Travis eat some crow this week, in large part because this junior right here went for over 300 through the sky. Marshall Shepard was dishing it out to everybody, too. That was my favorite part about his game, is that this guy right here, he found an allotment of weapons, and he's got a bunch of dudes that can make it happen. 3 different touchdown passes to 3 different players.
And that was one of the keys that we said, if Shelby were to win this game against Lucas, they had to get the passing game going, and boy, did Marshall Shepard and company do that, really just picking the Lucas secondary apart and rolling in what was dubbed the Richland County Championship game pretty much. So Shelby, it's all yours, folks.
I mean, it definitely helps to have guys like Blaine Bowman and Andre Hill and Cody Lance and Owen Fisher out of the backfield
on that team.
And it's a shame, honestly, that Merrick Albert is out, because what a receiving threat he would have been at the tight end position, too. But maybe they get him back at some point in the postseason. He's a really tough kid with that broken collarbone. He might be able to get back in the mix. But let's talk about Marshall Shepard for week number 5, showing out. He's a Phenom nominee.
Definitely.
Hey, the Brady Tedrow Show is back. He had 14 carries for $146. 3 rushing touchdowns. He also caught just 1 pass, but he made it count. Got all the way into the end zone. And then I think he had 6 tackles, sack on the day. This kid was phenomenal, and that's why he's a Phenom nominee.
He's a Phenom nom for sure. Brady Tedrow, ever since he was benched that first half of the Galleon game, came in at quarterback after the injury, he's taken off. I think that just snapped him back into the mode that we saw last year. In the way that the Clear Fork Colts played this game, it looks like they're going back to that 2 quarterback system.
Yeah.
And when he's not playing quarterback, he's back there in the backfield. So that's making defenses not just key on one person. You can't just key on the quarterback who could run now. You have to key on Brady Tedrow too. It's spreading things out, and they're back.
One player in a single game run as many crispy routes as Evan Hamilton did. I mean, it wasn't the South Central's defense was that bad. It's just that those routes were that good. I was keeping an eye on 23 after he caught the first touchdown pass of the night, and he just kept getting loose. 4 tutty receptions in one game, Travis. That was my best career season as a receiver.
Crispy like some McDonald's fries right there. And I was talking to Garrett, your color guy for the game last night, G-Man, and he said coming in beforehand, him and Kuhn both said they want to break the passing and receiving touchdown marks in this game. And
Little
Look what
foreshadowing,
they did.
huh?
Look what they did. They
Could have
they
been
backed
onto
it up.
something. Oh, hey, by the way.
Speaking of Ross Kuhn.
Did you mention Ross Kuhn? He was breaking some records too, and not only was he shattering records last night, he broke his old man's record of 4 touchdown passes in a game, Timmy Kuhn. So that record off the board. Enter Ross, who went 9 for 12. He was pretty much perfect, man. He had a big rushing touchdown as well. 6 total scores for him. He was unbelievable the way that he commands this offense. He's the true leader of the team. Definitely worthy of a phenom performance.
Is it safe to say Crestview isn't only a run-sole team? Sole running team, I should say?
Yeah, Kuhn is leading the Firelands Conference in touchdown passes and yards. Now I believe at this point he's got 14 of them through the sky, most of them to this guy right here, Evan Hamilton. And what a connection these two have. They've been playing together since 6th grade.
It shows out. And doesn't Ross have a younger brother that plays quarterback too? It's in the 8th grade, I believe. So
he's also got another one who's a sophomore. So there's going to be a long lineage of Kuhns playing quarterback there. But how about Peyton Lester? Virtually perfect through the air, 11 of 13, only missed a couple of times, but it's the efficiency into the end zone that I really like. 176 yards through the sky, but the 4 touchdowns, Travis Berardi. Heck of a performance, my friend.
Yeah, I was on the call of this one. He was just dropping dimes left and right. And not only that, he had 5 carries for, I believe, 15 yards. He did get sacked a couple times and drop those yardages down, but he was just dropping it in. Mielek, one of his wide receivers, he dropped it into him a couple times, but just the accuracy he had. Those 2 passes, one I believe was just dropped in the end zone, and another one he barely overthrew. So pretty darn accurate tonight, and it showed as East Knox continues to roll despite losing a bunch of people from last year. It seems like they're just continuing to roll along.
Picking right up where they left off. Those are your Friday Night Phenom nominees for week number 5. We let you decide who the winner's going to be. Speaking of letting the people decide some of the action here on the OH Report, we also have top play nominees, Travis. And as I think back to week 4, there was one play that the people chose that was better than the rest. Let's show you who that was. So as we get the highlight prepared here, the votes rolled in. Lots of them showed up. And this was a pretty tight race on the Instagram, the Facebook, and the YouTube. But at the end of the day, this kid just needs 2 shirts all to himself. How about this guy, Deion Parker, getting loose for the 50-plus yard run, got swung down just inside the 1-yard line. But the people chose him as the play of the week.
And the coaches chose him as well because they called his number once again as he scored right afterwards. And then just, an Adam bonus play right here, that interception that helped, keep them in the lead, and they pulled off the big win, and they get a big game at East Knox coming up on Friday.
So Destiny Nichols Newell on the Facebook says, oh my gosh, she is so proud of you, Deion, so congratulations. Back-to-back, 2 wins in 1 week? Psh, man, I can't wait to see you with those 2 t-shirts. But let's get back to the present once again in week 5, and let's meet the nominees for this week, the top 5 plays presented by Spherion, Mid-Ohio.
Our first nominee comes from South Central. Jackson McCormick doing his best Willie Mays impersonation over the shoulder catch. Brian, you got to see that live.
I was absolutely blown away when I seen it in real time. I didn't think that he actually made the play. Now that we've seen the replay a whole bunch, not only does he get in 1 foot, he gets in the knee too. That's an NFL-style catch right there, Jackson McCormick. You are the man.
Now to Arlen Field. On our volleyball broadcast, we talk about the yummy ball. It's a floater that's up for grabs. Well, Joey Lyons of Worcester eats that yummy ball up and takes it to the house. Pick 6, Ski.
And what I like about that is it was just before the half, so it really turned the tide and it put the Tigers way behind the 8 ball. And anytime you can turn defense, right cheer, into offense as he gets into the zone, that makes you a big-time playmaker and hence the top play nominee.
As Worcester rolls to 5-0.
40-6.
40-6 over the TY Tigers. Moving to our third nominee, the game I was at, Shane Knepp Punt return has an opening down the right side. Then he's going to hit the juke button right here, looking like Barry Sanders. 58 yards to the house, Brian.
My favorite part about this whole play, Travis, is that he catches it on the hop. He doesn't wait for the ball to get to him. Oh, no. He catches it with a head of steam, and when he gets loose into that second level, I mean, look at him. They can't even catch up. They're already 2 steps behind because he's 2 steps ahead because he caught it on the fly. And then, as you mentioned, how about that cutback? Look, there's 4 kids in white jerseys. Nobody gets a hand on him until he's already in for 6.
And the irony of that is I said no flags on a play, and a flag came out right as I
Just
said
one.
that. Back to the defensive side of the ball for Ontario. Owen Hatfield with the pick, then whoop! Puts the move on, and he is gone. 81 yards, and a big turning point in that one, as it was only 7-0 going into that pass.
That's right, and that was right before halftime as well, so Wilson Frankhouse was looking to tie the game with this pass, but Waterberg says, not this time, not at my house, even though he was on the road. And then he takes it back at High C Park, weaving his way. He scampers in for the TD, one of my favorite players in the area, only 5'6", but plays like he's about 6'9".
Moving to our 5th nominee, Connor Henkel of Shelby. Watch him reach behind himself to make the catch. Get off me. He's off to the races for the score as the Shelby Whippets using our bulletin board material to their advantage as they roll Lucas.
And this is on the opening drive, my friend. This is how you open up a game. Sit down right there, right where you're at, and I'm going to get going. Oh, bye-bye. Your friends can't catch me either. Just too fast, too much speed, and the Whippets go berserk against Lucas.
But you know our mantra, live and free. Well, we have a free bonus for you. Brady Tedrow using the ref as a blocker on his way to the end zone, and Stripes, he did not budge from that play.
And you can clearly tell that this was probably a former high school basketball player, as this referee, we're going to take a look right here. He's going to set his feet. He's going to try to take the charge, but Brady just too slick on his feet. He dances around him, and so there's no call, no flag on the field, and Brady's going to get loose for 6. But a shout out to the referee for standing his ground and helping Brady kind of make the play.
Serious question though, block or charge?
Kind of looks like a block to me.
He did move. Yeah, the ref didn't. I don't know. Anyway, those your top play nominees brought to you by Spherion, Mid-Ohio.
So, of course, we're going to chop these back up. We're going to post them on the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, and the Twitter sphere. And we're going to allow you, the fans, to tell us who you like the best. Who was your top play of the week for Week 5? Well, Travis, that's pretty much going to do it for us here today, wrapping up another long week of live and free broadcasts here on the Always Report. I don't even know how many games we did, but it was a lot. Went to a lot of different places. Had a lot of fun, too. But give me your impressions of Friday night now that we've seen 5 weeks in the books. Tell me something, drop some facts on me. Give some factoids to the kids. What do they need to know?
Perfect. I have a really cool fact. So Shelby and Lucas, since 2016, their records combined, they were both 35-9 going into last night's game from the start of 2016. So now Shelby 36-9, Lucas 35-10. Ontario, we haven't talked much about the defensive side of the ball. They have done really well. They had 4 key turnovers against Gallion and a shutout. They held Shelby to its lowest total of the year, 28 points. After giving up 14 points to Clear Fork, shut them out the rest of the way for a 41-14 win. So that defense from Ontario, I mean, that's starting to come around. The offense is coming around now, too. They're going to be one of those lethal squads come playoff time, and they still have a shot at hosting a home game as well if they can win next week and maybe get a little help. The seeding actually is this week, so
yeah, so
I don't even know why I said that. But
right now, Ontario's actually at number 6 in their region, so it's looking like they probably, well, they're going to get a home game at least to start the postseason.
Yeah, because the Joe Idol rankings it's just something for the coaches to look at when they do the seeding, but even with that, Ontario, they've done enough, and I mean, close losses to Lucas and Shelby, so
they're pretty good.
They'll probably get a home game over at the stadium at Ontario. Clear Fork, like I said in the Brady Tedrow segment, 2-quarterback system. It looks like they're back to that again, and just get back to what brought you there, pretty much. You know, the bread and butter of Clear Fork football over the past couple years has been the 2-quarterback system, not allowing the defense to key just on one player back there, and it's looking like it's starting to work. So maybe Clear Fork, one of those sleepers coming into the tournament. They're not probably going to be hosting at the Colt Corral, but it really doesn't matter with the COVID because there's not a lot of people are going to be at these games anyway for a home field advantage. So look out for the Colts in playoff time. East Knox, really bad injury to Ian Toller, running back. It looked like he might have broken an ankle. They had an air cast on. I don't know exactly what it was. He was taken out on a stretcher. So hopefully it was just a precaution, maybe a high ankle sprain. Maybe he can come back. But if not, Lester, as we saw in the Phenom, Mielek, Knepp, 2 wide receivers, and then DeLauder came in as a running back. He really did well in some backup time as the time was running out in the game. So look to him to maybe pick up the pace if East Knox wants to make another deep run in the tournament. And then Crestview, Kuhn and Hamilton. I mean, I want to say more of that St. Paul game was a little bit of mistakes on their side than St. Paul really taking control of the game, especially what they saw with the Western Reserve game after. And I don't know what's going to happen tonight with Plymouth. But Crestview, one of those teams, yeah, they have a loss, but they can have the ability to make a long run in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd like to see those two teams meet up now at this point in the season. That was just week 2 back when Crestview kind of laid an egg on the road on a Saturday night, so it's a little bit different environment. You know how St. Paul is. They like to play on their fancy Saturday nights at their home stadium, so I'd really like to see the Cougars get another opportunity at them. Dude, they have been lights out, and granted the competition hasn't been great for them over the last few weeks, but that is going to be a dangerous team in Division 6. And East Knox, a quick note, I know Ian Toller went down. Maybe he can be back in action here in a couple of weeks. That'd be great.
Not as serious as it looked, but I mean, you and I watched the replay of it last night. It looked pretty bad. It was an accidental, one of his linemen accidentally rolled up on him as he was getting tackled, and just the way he fell, it looked like he was in some pain, but I really hope it was just maybe a high ankle sprain, because I know those are painful as well. So hopefully it's not as severe, and maybe give him a couple weeks. If East Knox can win a couple games in the playoffs, he can come back, because, I mean, it's his senior year, and we've seen him. He was a Phenom, at least nominee earlier this year, so
he had to go up against, unfortunately, Owen Fisher, who did crazy things that week. Otherwise, he would have been the winner.
But I mean, he's just such a playmaker that I really hope he can come back and, you know, show off a couple more games, because he is a stud on both sides of the ball.
And the Bulldogs D7 this year.
Yes.
So they moved down in the ranks, and they get to play against the smallest schools in the state, which is probably where they belong. So looking for Howard, Ohio to show out once they get back into postseason action.
Maybe we'll see them against Lucas.
Ooh, could be fun, and that would have to be a state semifinal type of game, I think. So we'll circle that one on the calendar. We'll go ahead and put it up on the board, just like we do with the bulletin board material. You're welcome, Shelby. And then Lucas a couple of weeks ago when I picked Pleasant over them. All right, that's going to wrap it up here for the Saturday Pigskin. Always want to thank our guest, Kurt Conrad, for coming in from the Richland source, dropping that knowledge. He's been doing it for so long. He's amazing, seen a lot of football, and he is great. Eric Will, as mentioned, he's out in Virginia taking in Brennan Armstrong's first career start. He was starting to get things going for the Who's out there. And then Travis Brady got one last nugget for you.
Actually, Brennan Armstrong, if some people that aren't watching the game, at the half, he was 11 of 25 passing, 101 yards, an interception, but 6 carries, 45 yards, and he scored the first touchdown as Virginia is up 17-10 on Duke. So Armstrong, not a bad start to his starting career, since he did play a couple games last year, but I think he's going to do good things for the Virginia Cavaliers.
No doubt. The pride of Shelby, Ohio, and I imagine a lot of the players that you've just seen on this program today probably going to be making a difference at the next level here in the future. That's going to do it for us here in Week 5, fast-moving season. Just one more regular season week here on the Pigskin. We'll see you back here, same bat time, same bat channel, next Saturday. So long.